Are you tired of manually summarizing reports, categorizing customer feedback, or trying to come up with social media posts every day? These repetitive tasks can drain hours from your week. But what if I told you you could build a powerful AI assistant to do all that for you without writing a single line of complex code? That is exactly what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you how to build an incredible custom AI workflow using a fantastic tool called N8N. Hey everyone, welcome back to NIIT. If you're passionate about generative AI and learning how to apply it in practical ways, you're in the right place. So what is N8N? Think of it as Lego bricks for your digital world. It's a free, open source tool that lets you collect different apps together, automating everything. And today we are going to connect it to the brain of Google's Gemini model. In this video, we'll build a workflow that automatically takes customer feedback from a Google Sheet, uses Gemini to analyze its sentiment and create a summary, updates the sheet with the results, and then sends a notification email right to your inbox with Gmail. By the end of this video, you'll be able to build your own AI automations. So let's get started. The first thing you'd need to do is install N8N. Now, how do you go about doing that? Well, go to N8N's website and find their documentation. Now here, there are two ways to install N8N. One is using npm by running a simple npm command, or the second way, the method that I prefer, is using the Docker compose. Once that is done, we can move forward to looking at how N8N works. So here we are inside N8N after installing it. So let's start from scratch. All right, so here we are inside the N8N canvas. It looks a bit empty now, but this is where the magic happens. Let's do a quick tour. Now this area right here is the canvas. And if we click this plus icon, here we can see all the nodes. And down here is where we'll be seeing the execution logs. The core idea is simple. You create nodes that will connect to each other and create a workflow. A workflow is just a simple recipe. It starts with a trigger node, the event that kicks everything off, and is followed by a series of action nodes. The data would flow from one node to another, just like an assembly line. So let's build our own assembly line right now. Our goal is to analyze customer feedback. So the trigger should be added when a new feedback would be added to the sheet. We'll use Google Sheets for this. So let's find out a trigger for Google Sheets. So let's look up Google Sheets here. And we want to do it when a row is added. Okay. Now you'll have to connect your Google Accounts API with this. So N8N will guide you through that. Just configure the credentials. Then we can see that our Google Drive is connected to N8N. We can choose sheet 1 on row add. Let's test this event. Nice. So we can see that it is correctly retrieving our data from our Google Sheets. This is the Google Sheet that I had put in. So to test, let's only do it with 4 items. Now let's look for the Gemini model. Okay, so we want to message the model. Now you have to configure your Google account API with N8N. N8N will guide you through this. Next, what we want to do is choose a model. We can maybe go for the Gemini 2.0 Flash. Now the prompt here is important. So let's go for this prompt. Analyze the sentiment of the following customer feedback. Respond with only one word: positive, negative, or neutral. Okay. And we also want to add the feedback here. Okay, so our feedback goes into our message which goes to the LLM. So let's test this node. So this should send 4 of our feedbacks and we should have an output for it. Okay, we are getting an output here, as we can see: positive, negative, neutral, and positive. So this works. Now, what if we also wanted a quick summary? So that's easy. Let's chain another action here. Again, let's go to Gemini, message a model, and here you can choose the same one. So we write the prompt: summarize this customer feedback in one sentence, and let's also add that feedback again. Okay, so the feedback goes to the LLM, and let's do a test run. Great, so we also have our summary that is generated. Very nice. Now what we'd want to do is to put this into our Google Sheet. So for that, let's go to our node here and let's add a sheet. Now what we want to do is update a row in sheet right here. So let's configure the trigger accordingly. Connect with our Google account, update row. We want to update customer feedback, the first sheet, to match on column, feedback, and the content we want positive in the sentiment. In this case it's positive. And let's extract the summary in the summary column, and let's test this operation. Oh, so I forgot to give it the trigger. Let's add that here. So based on this, and let's test it out. Okay, so we have our feedback, the sentiment, and the summary. Okay. Now let's make things a bit more interesting. Let's actually send an email each time that an update is done. For that, we will have to now add a mail. We'll go to Gmail. We have actions here, send a message. So the Gmail is configured. The resource we want to send is a message. So let's put a title. For here, I'll just write AI analysis complete for new feedback. The type of email would be HTML, and in the message. So for the message, we put this in. So we are taking the feedback from the sheet. We are taking the sentiment from the model and the summary from the model, which is going into the body of our email. So let's test this step. Upon testing this step, we are seeing that the emails have been sent, one for each of the rows. Let's take a look at it now. And here it is. The email had arrived in my inbox with the full analysis. This workflow is now live and will run automatically every single time I make a change in this Excel sheet right here. As you can see, it has also been populated here. So let's recap what we just accomplished. You are now familiar with the n8n interface. You've seen how to connect Google's powerful Gemini model directly into a workflow, and you understand how to trigger actions from a data source, process it with AI, update a database, and send a final notification using Gmail. The possibilities are endless. Imagine connecting this to your CRM, generating images, or even having AI draft your email replies. If you found this tutorial helpful and got some value from it, please do like this video and share and help the channel grow. Be sure to subscribe and click the notification icon so that you don't miss our next generative AI automation guide. And finally, I have some questions for you. What AI automation are you going to build first using n8n? Drop the ideas in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Happy automating, and I'll see you in the next one.